Today on the Social Investing Network, Memorial Day weekend is almost here, so that means the Indy 500 is here. What better way to celebrate the pinnacle of racing than an NFT? Fans can purchase 3 different types of NFTs, including a mystery box? What? We've got all the details. Plus, ever wish you could play fantasy football in the metaverse? Well, now you kind of can. The NFL announced its own blockchain game where you can play GM and manage your players in NFTs alike. I'd sign up for that, but I'm sure Delano already has me beat.
Oh, come on, Zayd. The game's not even out there. You can't be that bad at it. Also on the show, is there life science with Luna? Dubbed TERRA 2.0, a Hail Mary plan is in place to keep this crypto alive. But will it work? It's Thursday, May 26th. Subscribe below, hit the notification bell, and let's get into it.
All right, guys, the Indy 500 is happening this weekend. I'm not a big IndyCar fan myself. I'm more of an F1 guy. But Indy 500 is doing something very interesting this weekend. They're incorporating NFTs in a pretty cool way. So the Indy 500 partnered with Autograph. It's an NFT platform founded by Tom Brady, because not like that guy's busy with anything else. To sell, they're going to be selling over 1,000 NFT mystery containers. And fans will have the opportunity to open these containers. And the NFT is going to be, it's going to be 33 NFTs each of 33 drivers. So that's over 1,000 NFTs, and each NFT holder will get a carbon fiber piece from the actual car. So there's actually some interesting utility to it as well. On top of that, there's a bit of a raffle element to it. 3 NFT holders will get VIP access to next year's race. Delano, I mean, I've always said that NFTs in sports makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Hopefully they can have more utilities and other leagues can adopt this. What do you think about IndyCar trying this out?
Yeah, Zayd, every sport in every league is trying to figure out how they can use Web3 to reward their most loyal fans. And I do like this application. As you mentioned, sports should be doing this. It makes the most sense. I like that the Indy 500, they're doing it with less amount of NFTs. Like, I don't want to see a flood. If I'm someone that's looking to do this, looking to buy, if you're a very big fan of Indy 500, you want to have something that's more specialized and more niche. Having a bit over 1,000 NFT holders, that makes sense to me. Partnering with Autograph, which is co-founded by a lot of big names in the sports space, that also makes sense to me, Zayd. I think this is a good application. So I'm kind of, the carbon fiber thing, that also is cool. It's a physical carbon fiber piece of the car, it sounds like.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it sounds like to me. So we'll see how this all unfolds this year. But yeah, I mean, it's a bit gimmicky. But if they can somehow make it like legit and not super like gimmicky, other leagues can adopt this. I think it'll be successful. So hopefully we'll see NBA and NFL teams adopt this and have some sort of good utility to it. Like if there was an NBA version of this where if you owned an NFT, maybe you had a meet and greet with an athlete or something like that, or maybe you get a signed basketball or something like that. Yep. I really want to see the leagues adopt this, and not just because it's the hot flavor of the month, but because they can actually improve fan experience. That's going to be the most important thing, is like, are fans still going to want to do this once the hype around NFT dies? So I guess we'll find out.
We will find out. Speaking of which, your prayers might have been answered with the NFL. So NFL Rivals, another edition of our Fresh Mints. NFL Rivals is going to blend fantasy football with NFTs. The National Football League and the NFL Players Association have partnered with Mythical Games to develop a blockchain game called NFL Rivals with NFTs. So the game will be a fantasy football in the metaverse where users act as NFL teams' general manager. It will feature all 32 teams and all league players as tradable NFTs. The game will primarily focus on team building and leveling up with NFTs on the blockchain. So another thing, this will be play to earn and play to own. The players will be able to win tokens and NFTs by winning their matches. This is set to be released next year. So this is another application of sports leagues, NFTs, Web3. NFL is jumping into this, and we know the NFL is usually slower to adopt new things or adopt new technology. So they're trying it out. What do you think about their application when it comes to NFTs and Web3?
This is like the perfect mashup, right? You have sports, you have fantasy sports. I mean, that's already a good combination right there. Now you have NFTs and play to earn, like a gaming element to it. I mean, this is right up my wheelhouse. I was hoping they were going to launch this by this new upcoming season. it seems like they're pushing it to 2023.
Yep.
So hopefully they have it. Like, they're trying to probably iron out all the bugs and stuff. But like, I'm pumped for this, right? Because like now all the hours that I spend trying to figure out my 7th round pick for my fantasy football draft, maybe it'll come in handy if I can actually make some good money with it as well. Like now I like justify it to my wife. Like, yeah, I'm spending 8 hours crushing film on like who my backup running back is going to be for a reason. So I think this is great, and it'll be interesting to see how it's implemented, because like if this is done poorly, and so people aren't gonna stick with it. But if it's done well and it's seamless and the user interface is easily understandable, then I think people will love it, and this could be like the make or break moment for NFT in sports.
You're so right. You mentioned the simplicity, the ease of use. That's going to be big. What the NFL did with fantasy sports was huge. It brought in such an influx of people that were just super crazy about the sport, and that leveled up with fantasy sports. If you can pair that with NFTs, with gaming, with strategy, and another area for people to earn and have fun while they're watching the sport, I think this is a big opportunity for the NFL. They realize it. I think that's why they jumped in on this early. And you're seeing a lot of areas where, I'm curious to see like how they have a license now with the Players Association. They teamed up. So where does that leave the other outsiders that want to play in this space and use maybe players' name, image, and likeness? Does that push them out? Does that kind of make it more crowded? That's another area that's kind of be interesting to watch as well.
Yeah, I guess we'll learn more about that, because I'm curious. Yeah, like you said, I'm curious to know how like the Players Association's rights, like the players' rights, works with all this stuff. I mean, I'm totally in the dark on how all that stuff works, but like even more in the dark with NFTs. So I guess we'll learn more as the project gets released. But I just want a really good game, and I want my hours playing fantasy football justified with some sort of monetary gain. Like I wouldn't mind that, So I guess we'll find out.
We will find out.
All right. Speaking of another Web3 project, this one not so positive. TERRA. We all at this point know about the TERRA Luna crash that happened a couple weeks ago. Well, they're back. TERRA 2.0 is coming, guys. Under a new proposal, Do Kwon, the founder of TERRA, he has plans to distribute tokens of this new TERRA 2.0 token. They're going to distribute these tokens to old Luna holders. The old Luna token is going to be called Luna Classic. In fact, I actually got a notification on my phone about how my old Luna tokens have been already turned into Luna Classic tokens. And this new Luna token, 30% of this token is going to go into like a pool of investors in the TERRA community, so kind of like a treasury. 35% these are going to go to Luna holders before the collapse. 10% is going to go to UST holders before the collapse, and then the remaining 25% will go to people that own Luna and UST after the crash. Those are all a bunch of numbers. I guess the more important thing to me is, what's the point? I'm still struggling to figure out what the purpose of this new Luna token is going to be, because Delano, as you remember, the point of the Luna token before was to act as a sister token to keep the peg of the stable UST stablecoin. This stablecoin is not coming back. They're pretty much abandoning the stablecoin. I don't really get the point of this new token. Like, what do you think about all this?
I agree with you. I don't get the point. The breakdown you mentioned was really awesome, because it seems like they're just trying to salvage what they can for former investors, and I don't see why anyone else would buy the new token or buy into the fork or buy into it at all. Again, that's without giving advice to people. But you're right, there is no point. The only thing I can think of is, one, you could say that Do Kwon is sticking around and not running away and hiding somewhere. Two, you could say that they have a large community, and maybe they're trying to do something to salvage it, and they're forking the coin to forking the chain to be able to do something for that community. But other than that, I just don't see kind of any reason why people would still kind of be involved in this. This is something that tragic that happened to the people that are invested. They lost its peg and it crashed, but I also don't see the point. There's a white paper out there that we can read. It didn't really spell out any reasons, but it just seems like they're trying to salvage something here.
And it's also like you lost so much trust in the community. Like, people, when we saw the horror stories, a lot of people lost a lot of money thinking that their investment in the stable coin was risk-free. Obviously that wasn't the case. So I don't know how anyone can be so ready to go back into this ecosystem. I guess Do Kwon isn't running away and hiding. I guess there's some credit there, but still, man, like, this guy was so cocky, right? And they all blew up in his face. And so I wonder if he's going to approach this with some humility.
Yeah.
But man, like me personally, again, obviously we don't have a crystal ball, not investment advice, but me personally, I definitely be very hesitant to dive back into this thing.
100%. You'd have to be triple checking, doing due diligence, because really you don't see a lot of people get a second chance when it comes to money and money being lost. You just don't see that often.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, moving on. Gas prices are high, and people across the country are feeling the pain at the pump. For more on how people's wallets are getting whacked, let's jump into So That Happened with producer Danny. What's up, Danny?
What's up, guys? Great to see you as always. And you're 100% right, Zaid. Consumers are feeling pain at the pump and the dealer, and we're seeing on the road, folks. I mean, this is a new kind of survey study that came out here. The average age of cars on the road reached a recent high at 13.1 years, according to S&P Global Mobility.
Wow. I mean, honestly, I'm like shocked. That's a record high?
For this time period, at least. So, you know, it's tough. There's a supply crunch. Things are actually, you know, you could argue that this could be a good thing, right? A recent report also said that electric cars are now cheaper than gas cars in almost every state when looking at maintenance costs, incentives, purchase price, you know, more the holistic price. Obviously, the list price for your electric vehicle is still going to be pretty high. So, you know, guys, I'm here to say maybe this is the beginning of the end of gas cars. It's an exciting future we're in, but we're kind of not in it, right? Like electric cars are still pretty expensive and it can take time for that reduced maintenance cost to kind of kick in. So I actually found a couple news stories here that support this narrative that maybe we're trying to change, but we're just not ready to jump into electric. All right. So this German farm owner recently switched to a hay-powered vehicle. That's going on. You know, some people might find 2 horsepower a little bit underwhelming. And this video recently went viral on Reddit. You know, we're all remoting into work. Well, this guy's remote carring to the store. He built this little RC car. I don't even know how he did this. I'm guessing, you know, using kind of drone camera technology, but he goes to the store and the woman loves it, by the way. The employee loves it. She puts some bananas on this thing.
Oh.
You know, Postmate fees are high. Gas is high. You got a remote control car in, guys. This is the answer.
How is like Uber not bought these guys?
Yeah,
like, this guy needs to go.
Deliveries. They're gonna be they're gonna not like that. That's a pretty cool invention there.
No joke though, Danny. There's actually like a robot delivery thing in the Houston area. Where like they'll deliver food and groceries with a robot. It's not as like small as that RC car, but it's like a smaller size car. So it's actually, maybe that is the future.
I've seen some of them. They looked. I saw one in Miami, and they're always kind of stuck. When I guess you wouldn't really run into them if they're moving efficiently, but they always seem very slow and easy to sort of get in their way. But this could be a game changer and hopefully bring fees down on all these services.
You think we can raise like 10 mil pre-seed just on that idea? RC car delivery service.
Fast cars driven by humans, no robots. We will manually drive these things.
I love it.
Well, speaking of our sort of, you know, crazy economic times, let's talk about a new fresh mints. As we all know, times have been tumultuous in the crypto markets. Some are calling it a bear market, and some are calling the bear market this new crypto colloquialism that people are using, Goblintown. Have you guys heard this?
No.
I saw some rumblings on Twitter about it, but I want to learn more.
I thought it was pretty funny, you know. People say instead of bear market, people say we're in Goblin Town, surrounded by goblins. As in, here's the dictionary definition, a dictionary example. Will the crypto market recover today? Who knows? We're all residents of Goblin Town, and Zaid is the mayor. Okay.
That is true.
So,
peek at my portfolio. It's a lot of goblins right now.
Right. So it's a funny term, and one NFT maker who is rumored to be a NFT kind of big famous group, well, they ran with this term, and they have Goblintown NFTs. Now, we've seen a lot of ugly NFTs on the show, but I got to give Goblintown credit. These are artistically hideous. Wow. The collection things. Right? Terrifying. The collection racked in around $7 million in sales volume last weekend. Really weird project. It's kind of veiled in mystery. The website, according to CoinDesk, reads, "There's no roadmap, no Discord, and no utility." CoinDesk apparently contacted Goblintown via Twitter and received a bizarrely written message in this kind of goblin speak. And I'm going to do an impression of that. The response was, "There are many goblins all around. We are all down.
So no utility, no roadmap, no Discord, and they 7 million in sales. Whoa.
So I saw this floating around the interwebs, right? And I visited their website to see what the hype was, and yeah, I saw that. But like, their website is so well designed. It's like someone put a lot of effort into this, and yeah, people, I guess the community is buying it up. Maybe I keep thinking that I'll understand NFTs, and then Goblintown drops and does the numbers that it does, and I'm like, you know what? That's just, I'm never gonna get it. I'm never gonna understand this stuff.
I think one thing that tends to happen in the crypto space is if it's fun and funny and it hits the right note, it can really blow up. And we've seen that happen many times. Of course, we've all seen the opposite happen, where it's kind of fun and funny and nothing happens. But maybe Goblintown just kind of hit the right mixture here. So this actually kind of went viral, this sort of like goblin speak. I don't know if you guys saw, but it's all kind of weirdly formatted. Bud Light actually jumped on this trend.
Oh no.
Some people thought maybe they're goblins, maybe they're just running it, but you know, times are tough. So maybe Goblintown is just kind of the vibe right now. I don't know.
That's how Cam Newton does his Instagram, the font.
Oh yeah.
He's always done it that way.
But why can't the brand just leave this one alone for a little bit? Why can't the community just enjoy this? You know what I'm saying? Whenever brands get involved, it gets a little bit less fun.
Yeah, I feel like Bud Light is a weird one. I mean, it's just everyone's making it NFT these days. So I guess I'm kind of proud of them for playing the trends and having fun, but not launching their own crypto project. I think we've had enough from the brands.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so Goblintown, we're gonna probably see that all over our timelines, at least for the next week or so.
Hey, I think, Zayd, you might be responsible for Goblintown.
Oh yeah, it's all my fault. It's all my fault.
A lot of degeneracy. Well, always good to see you guys.
Hey Danny, I appreciate you stopping by. All right, guys, that wraps up another awesome show. Really happy that Danny got a chance to come on and educate us about Goblintown. Thanks for hanging out with us. Remember, we go live every day, Monday through Friday, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys here tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
We out. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and be sure to tune in tomorrow.